Today's episode of the Island Archives podcast is brought to you by Old Road Rum. Old Road Rum is driven by a desire to celebrate the cultural history of St. Kitts and Nevis and is tropically aged for 12 years to present the pure expression of a well-crafted rum.
For today's episode of the Island Archive podcast, let's take up our reading glasses and peer into the life of one of the kings of Caribbean written symbolism. V.S. Naipaul was born in 1932 on the island of Trinidad, where he was raised. Both sets of grandparents were indentured laborers who were shipped from India to work on the sugar plantation, while his father was a newspaper reporter for the Trinidad Guardian. At the age of 16, he secured a Trinidad government scholarship which allowed him to go to Oxford to do a degree in English. However, it wasn't all rainbows and sunshine early on, as Naipaul struggled with his mental health during his degree as he doubted his writing ability and career path choice. I'm sure a lot of us can relate. He eventually graduated in 1953, but struggled to find work while begrudgingly sharing a house with his cousin in London, who was attempting to help him out. Couch surfing is definitely not fun. At last, Naipaul would gain employment at the BBC to present their weekly program, Caribbean Voices, in 1954. Over the next 5 years, he penned his first book, Miguel Street, which was a collection of stories from his childhood, which helped him to catch the eyes of some publishers, thus improving his confidence. Before he was 30, he had written 4 novels, including what is considered to be one of the masterpieces of 20th century literature, A House for Mr. Biswas. His nomadic nature led him to live on various continents, spending extended periods in India, Iran, Malaysia, and many African countries, which fueled his writing and broadened his perspectives. He was incredibly prolific, often publishing a book every year or two for much of his career. That's what we call putting in that work. Naipaul's writing was unique, as it often transported readers to the scene of the plot, where he blended social, cultural, and geographical frameworks in order to pinpoint people, tell their stories, and succinctly blend their emotions with overarching symbolism and laser-sharp detail. Simply put, the guy was a boss. By the time he was 45, he had basically won every literary prize that there was to win in the English-speaking world, and finally won the Nobel Peace Prize in Literature in 2001, his crowning achievement. V.S. Naipaul remains one of the most widely read and admired literary figures of the contemporary world, and teaches us the power of introspection, passion, and determination.
The Island Archive podcast is a Pelican Media Group production and is brought to you by Old Road Rum. To hear more, log on to www.islandarchive.com or check us out on all streaming platforms.